Horton Smith bogeys the ninth and drops to -1, slipping from a tie for third to a tie for 10th. It's his first blemish of the round and a rare misstep for the season's money leader, $986, who had been cruising just a few holes ago. Everyone else near the top holds steady. Bill Melhorn remains the solo leader at -4 through 7, while Harry Vardon stays one back with 18 still to play. Roger Weathered and Bobby Jones both made par at the 8th, continuing to hover at -1 as we near the final stretch of this opening round. Tommy Armour makes par at the 10th, staying at -2 and in a five-way tie for third. Ranked 4th in earnings this season with $749, Armour remains in striking distance with plenty of holes to play. No movement from the top two. Melhorn still leads at -4. Vardon one back with one hole remaining. Horton Smith, after his bogey last hole, makes par on the 9th to steady himself at -1. Robert Harris finishes his round at -1, currently inside the projected cut. That makes 14 players under par heading into the final stages of round 1. Ernest Holderness pars the 13th and holds at -2, still part of the five-way tie for third behind Melhorn and Vardon. Holderness has been steady, 5 straight pars since his last birdie on 8, but may need to find another red number soon if he wants to stay in Sunday's final group. Billy Burke joins him at -2 after a par on 11, while Pat Doyle, Bobby Cruikshank, and Arthur Havers remain in the clubhouse at that same number. Chick Evans and Peter O'Hara still sit at -1, both likely needing a birdie coming in to stay competitive. Harry Vardon closes with a par on the 18th to finish his round at -3, good for solo second, and just one shot off Melhorn's lead. It's a strong showing from the 54-year-old veteran, still capable of contending in softer conditions like these. No changes from the trailing pack. Ernest Holderness, Billy Burke, and Tommy Armour all par their most recent holes to remain at -2. That's now 6 players sitting 2 back, with several still on the course. Chick Evans, meanwhile, is quietly approaching the clubhouse. He pars 17 and stays at -1, needing something special at the last to climb. Archie Compston birdies the 8th to move to -3, joining Harry Vardon in second place, just one behind leader Bill Melhorn. That's his second birdie in the last 3 holes, and with 10 to play, Compston is gaining momentum. Everyone else in the top 5 held steady. Tommy Armour and Billy Burke both make par, remaining at -2. Bill Melhorn gives a shot back on the 8th, dropping to -3 and into a 3-way tie for the lead with Archie Compston and Harry Vardon. It's his first bogey of the round after a hot start, and it opens the door for the trailing pack. Compton made par on the ninth to stay at -3, reaching the turn with momentum. Meanwhile, Tommy Armour, sitting fourth and ranked fourth on the money list, has quietly made 5 straight pars to remain at -2 through 10. Chick Evans heads to 18, still at -1. He'll need birdie to crack the top 5. Tommy Armour makes par at the 11th, holding steady at -2 and staying tied for fourth. That's now 6 straight pars since his birdie on the 5th. Solid, but with 3 players tied ahead of him at -3, he may need another red number soon. Archie Compton and Bill Milhorn both par the 8th to remain tied with Vardon atop the leaderboard. The lead group remains tight, with all 3 within 1 shot for the last several holes. Billy Burke and Ernest Holderness continue to cruise at -2, while Chick Evans eyes one last chance to improve on 18. Ernest Holderness breaks the stalemate with a birdie at the 14th, his first red number since the 8th, and joins the leaders at -3. That makes it a 4-way tie at the top, alongside Compton, Milhorn, and Vardon, who's already in the clubhouse. Tommy Armour stays at -2 with a par on the 11th, while Billy Burke bogeys the 12th, his first misstep of the round, dropping him to -1 and back into a tie for ninth. Walter Hagen makes his debut on the board at -1 through 12. Ranked 16th in season earnings, he's still very much in the hunt. Bill Milhorn reclaims the solo lead with a birdie on the 9th, moving to -4 as he makes the turn. That's his 4th birdie of the day, more than anyone else in the field, and a big response after the bogey on 8. Ernest Holderness pars the 14th and stays tied for second at -3 alongside Compton, through 10, and Vardon, who posted his number earlier. Jack Forrester quietly climbs into the tie for 5th at -2 with a birdie on 8. The 21-year-old is making the most of the soft greens here in Detroit and looks poised for a strong finish. Archie Compston pars the 10th, holding at -3 and staying one behind Mealhorn. He's been steady since his birdie at the 8th, but hasn't closed the gap just yet. Billy Burke, meanwhile, bogeys the 13th, his second drop shot in 4 holes, and falls back to -1. He now sits just inside the top 20 after once holding a share of 3rd. Tommy Armour, 4th in earnings, and Horton Smith, 1st, both remain at -2 through 12 and 11, respectively. They're in solid position, but with Mealhorn still setting the pace, they'll need a strong final stretch to close the gap. Ernest Holdness makes par on the 17th and remains at -3, still tied for second in a 5-way logjam, one shot behind Mealhorn. He's stayed composed down the stretch, but he'll need something special at the last if he wants to share the lead heading into round 2. Tommy Armour also sits at -3 after pairing the 14th. The 4th-ranked money earner is quietly stringing together a clean back 9, with 4 holes left to close the gap. Further down, Billy Burke gets back on track with a par at 15 to stay at -2, holding ground in the thick of the top 10. Archie Compston stumbles on the 12th with a costly double bogey, falling from -3 to even par and tumbling into 20th place. After sitting tied for second just a hole ago, he's now right on the cut line with work to do. Meanwhile, Jack Forrester birdies the 11th to join the group at -3, an impressive rise for the 21-year-old, who was... Correction, Archie Compston records a triple bogey on the 12th, dropping him from -3 all the way to even par. That's a brutal swing and knocks him from a tie for second down to 20th, sitting directly on the cut line. It's the biggest single hole drop we've seen today and a momentum killer after such a promising front nine. With 6 holes still to play, he'll need to regroup quickly to avoid falling further behind. Up top, Mailhorn still leads at -4, but the chasing group just got a little smaller with Compston's sudden collapse. Ernest Holderness bogeys the 18th and slips to -2, falling out of the tie for second into a crowded group in 6th. After a steady back nine, that closing blemish stings, especially after sitting tied for the lead just a few holes ago. Billy Burke, meanwhile, makes par on the 16th to hold at -2. He's kept things level since his bogey on 13, but hasn't made a move back toward the leaders. At the top, Bill Mailhorn remains alone at -4, while Bobby Jones joins Jack Forrester at -3 after birdieing the 13th. A quiet but confident climb from the 17th ranked player. Jack Forrester holes out from off the green to save a miracle bogey on the 12th, limiting the damage and staying at -2. That could be a momentum-saving shot for the young contender, who now avoids falling 3 shots back. He remains in the tie for 5th, still very much in the mix as the leaders turn for home. Sometimes a bogey can feel like a birdie, and this was one of those moments. Bill Mailhorn bogeys the 13th and falls back into a 4-way tie at -3 alongside Bobby Jones, Tommy Armour, and clubhouse leader Harry Vardon. It's Mailhorn's second drop shot in 6 holes, momentum slipping just as others are starting to surge. Archie Compston, after that triple earlier, adds a bogey at 13 to fall to +1. He's now outside the projected cut and will need something dramatic over his final 5 holes to get back into it. Meanwhile, Roger Weathered and Horton Smith both stay at -2 with pars, quietly holding their spots just 1 shot off the lead. Tommy Armour makes par on the 16th, holding his spot in the five-way tie for the lead at -3. It's now 7 straight pars for Armour, who hasn't made a move since birdieing the 9th, but his consistency has kept him right in it. Bobby Jones and Roger Weathered remain locked in as well after pars on 14, while Bill Melhorn awaits his chance to retake the solo lead on the 14th tee. Further down, Horton Smith and Walter Hagen both stay at -2 after steady play on 15. Jack Forrester remains the top name on the rise, with holes left to work. Bill Melhorn, Bobby Jones, and Roger Weathered all make par on the 14th to remain locked in a five-way tie for the lead at -3. Tommy Armour also stays at -3 through 16, making it a crowded and tense finish atop the Michigan Open board. Jack Forrester moves one step closer to joining them. He pars the 13th and sits one back with 5 holes to play. Meanwhile, Billy Burke finally stops the bleeding with a par at 17, but remains at -1 after back-to-back bogeys earlier. Archie Compston makes par at 13 as well, still at +1 and needing a late spark to survive the cut. Tommy Armour bogeys the 17th and falls to -2, dropping out of the tie for the lead and into the jam-packed group in 5th. It's a tough slip late in the round for the 4th-ranked earner this season, who had been steady all afternoon. That leaves 4 players now tied at the top: Melhorn, Jones, Weathered, and Vardon, who's already in the clubhouse with a clean card at -3. Archie Compston adds a birdie on the 14th to bounce back to -2, just 1 behind, and Craig Wood makes his first appearance on the board at -1 through 16, quietly climbing into cut line safety. Walter Hagen pars the 18th to finish at -2, capping a steady round with no major missteps. He joins the growing pack tied for 5th. Still just 1 shot off the lead heading into the final day. No movement among the leaders. Melhorn, Jones, Weathered, and Vardon remain tied at -3. Tommy Armour will need something at the last to rejoin them. Further down, Craig Wood makes par at 16 to hold at -1. He's quietly making a case for the low round among those just above the cut line, which remains steady at +1. Roger weathered bogeys the 17th and drops to -2, falling out of the lead group and into a tie for 4th. After climbing to -3 just a few holes ago, that late slip could prove costly in this tightly packed leaderboard. Bobby Jones makes par on the 16th to stay tied at -3 with Melhorn and Vardon. Jones remains bogey-free and is quietly building one of the day's cleanest rounds. Meanwhile, Archie Compston, rebounding from his earlier triple, stays steady with a par on 15, still at -2, and just one shot off the pace with 3 holes to play. Bill Melhorn bogeys the 16th, his second drop shot on the back 9, and falls to -2, ending his long-standing hold on the solo lead. He now joins a large tie for 3rd, one back of Bobby Jones and Harry Vardon, who remain steady at -3. It's a wide-open finish now with Jack Forrester and Archie Compston both at -215 and 16 respectively, still with time to make a charge. Craig Wood continues to impress late, now -2 through 17 after a strong back 9. From off the radar to contending, he's making the most of moving day. Bobby Jones makes par on the 17th to stay at -3, still tied with Harry Vardon for the lead. One hole to play now for Jones, who's posted a bogey-free round under tournament pressure. Textbook Jones composure. Milhorn, Weathered, and Compston all par the 16th, keeping that large third-place group intact at -2. Jack Forrester stays in the hunt with a par on 15, while Horton Smith and Craig Wood also remain at -2 through 17, each needing a birdie on the last to join the leaders. It's a traffic jam behind Jones, and every missed putt now feels heavier. Bill Milhorn pars the 17th and remains at -2, still one back of Bobby Jones and Harry Vardon. After reaching -4 earlier in the day, Milhorn's cooled off with a pair of back 9 bogeys and now needs a birdie at the last to reclaim a share of the lead. Archie Compston and Jack Forrester also stay at -2, with pars, both still very much in the hunt as they approach the final hole. With Jones heading to 18 and 12 players within one stroke of the lead, this Michigan Open is heading for a pressure-packed finish with no room for error. And now we have a logjam just one stroke off the pace as Bill Milhorn and Archie Compston each make par at 17, staying at -2 with one hole to play. At the top, Bobby Jones and Harry Vardon sit tied at -3, both safely in the clubhouse. Jones with a workmanlike back 9 and Vardon steady throughout. But watch out. An incredible 10 players are tied at -2, including Jack Forrester on 16 and both Compston and Milhorn approaching the 18th. A birdie from any of them could force a playoff or potentially win outright. With the sun lowering and the pressure mounting, the Michigan Open remains wide open. Ah, understood. Cut day. Here at the Michigan Open has drawn to a dramatic close, and we've got 3 co-leaders at -3. Bill Melhorn, Bobby Jones, and Harry Vardon, all safely in with 141 totals. Let's talk storylines. Melhorn, -1 today, recovers from a shaky mid-round stretch with clutch pars coming in. Jones continues his steady march, matching Vardon with a tidy 70 today. And Vardon, the veteran, looks like he's barely broken a sweat en route to the top of the board. Just a shot behind, we've got 11 players tied at -2, including names like Jack Forrester, Tommy Armour, Roger Weathered, and Walter Hagen, all very much in the hunt heading into the weekend. The cut line lands at +1, sending home a few notables, but keeping a tightly packed leaderboard intact. This sets up a thrilling moving day ahead, unhacked with 14 players within 2 strokes of the lead. You couldn't ask for a more vintage open setup, and somewhere, Walter Travis is smiling from the fairways of golf's golden age.
Now on the first tee from the United States, Walter Hagen.
Michigan Open, cut day wrap-up, final update. And just like that, the curtain falls on round 2, and what a packed leaderboard we've got heading into the weekend. Tied for the lead at -3, Jack Forrester, Bobby Jones, Bill Melhorn, Harry Vardon. 4 names, 3 generations, all separated by little more than a razor's edge of precision and grit. Michigan Open final round update. Early front 9 movement, leaders holding, field tightening. Still tied at -3, Jack Forrester, Bobby Jones, Bill Melhorn, and Harry Vardon have yet to tee off or remain steady early. No movement, but pressure is mounting behind them. At -2, starting to stir. Roger Weathered and Tommy Armour post pars at the first. Pat Doyle makes an early move with a birdie at the second, now money 2 through 2. Clarence Hackney and Jock Hutchison are both off to clean starts at even par through a few holes, staying in striking range. Up and down openers for night as one group. Walter Hagen is off to a frustrating start. A missed fairway on 3 results in bogey, drops to stride 1 through 3, 3 back now. His window to charge is shrinking. Craig Wood, Chick Evans, and Billy Burke all post solid pars at the second. If the putters heat up, they could climb.
Now on the tee from England, Harry Vardon.
Michigan Open final round update. Forrester, Jones, Melhorn, and now Havers share the top. New name joins the party at Nengus 3. Arthur Havers rolls in a gorgeous 20-foot birdie on the first to join the lead group. That's 4 tied atop the board, all sitting at 3. Vardon drops a shot. Harry Vardon, previously flawless through 18 yesterday, opens his final round with a bogey that bumps him back to shark 2, just 1 off the pace. A long day ahead. Steady among the chasers at Nate is 2. Roger Weathered, Horton Smith, Tommy Armour, and Ernest Holderness open with pars at the first, calm starts under pressure. Pat Doyle finds par at the second to stay clean. Clarence Hackney now at the 5th, maintaining position and rhythm. New risers. Jock Hutchison continues climbing, already to the 5th tee and now inside the top 10. He's on the move. Bobby Cruikshank and Craig Wood both posting pars at the second, still within range at Shin. Walter Hagen still searching. Another par for Hagen, but no signs of the heater he needs. He's nice 1 through 3, struggling to generate momentum. Leaderboard is gridlocked, and just 1 birdie, or 1 stumble, could turn the whole event. 5 players within a shot of the lead. The tension builds at the Michigan Open.
Please welcome to the tee from the United States world number 1 Bobby Jones.
Michigan Open early round 2 update from Detroit Golf Club. Bill Melhorn is off to a quick start, birdieing the opening hole to move to Manus 4 and take solo lead. Melhorn, currently 24th on the season earnings chart with $266, is playing some of his sharpest golf yet, taking advantage of soft conditions here at Detroit GC. 1 shot back at Manus 3, we've got a crowd forming. Bobby Jones, Jack Forrester, Arthur Havers, Roger Weathered, and Clarence Hackney. Havers and Weathered, both inside the top 25 in season earnings, are showing how familiar British hands can still find rhythm on these slower American greens. Bobby Jones, though not on the earnings list yet, remains the biggest name in the field, and seeing him tied for second has the gallery growing with each hole. Evans and Cruikshank, both in the top 10 in money earned this year, are hanging inside the cut line at -2 and -1 respectively. With the cut projected at even and just 26 spots available, the pressure is already mounting. It's a soft course, but scoring isn't coming easily. Players know, stay sharp or slip fast. Final round, Michigan Open, Detroit Golf Club. We've got movement atop the board, but Bill Melhorn still holds steady at -4 through 1. With $266 in current season earnings, 24th overall, a win here would give his 1920 campaign a sizable boost. Right behind him at -3 is a five-way logjam, including Bobby Jones, Jack Forrester, Arthur Havers, Roger Weathered, and Clarence Hackney. Jones, arguably the most watched player this week, is out early and already looks comfortable. Havers and Weathered, both regulars on the British circuit and inside the money top 25, have the pedigree to chase down a leader. Clarence Hackney is quietly putting together his best outing of the year. Still outside the money list, a top 3 here could change that. Horton Smith, currently leading the tour in earnings with $986, is hovering at -2 alongside Chick Evans, 9th on the chart, and Tommy Armour, 4th. Cruikshank, 5th in season winnings, is also at -1, 3 back and meeting a chart. Harry Vardon sits at -1 through 2, one last chapter perhaps for the 6-time Open champ. Plenty of players in red figures, but it's Melhorn with the target on his back. Bobby Jones remains at -3 through 2, holding steady with a par. He's still one back of Melhorn, who stays at -4 through 3. The top of the board remains unchanged, with Jack Forrester, Arthur Havers, and Roger Weathered all tied with Jones. Clarence Hackney joins them at -3 through 6. Cruikshank, Armour, and Hagen are at -1. Tolley at even is the only player under par through 8. Chick Evans remains at -2 through 6, no movement since the last check, so he's carded a par. Currently tied for 8th, Evans sits just 2 shots off the lead. At 9th in season earnings with $450, he's been a steady presence all year and knows how to handle a tight leaderboard. No change at the top. Melhorn still leads at -4 with Jones, Forrester, Havers, and Weathered close behind at -3. Bill Melhorn extends his lead with a birdie at the 3rd, moving to -5. That's his second birdie in the opening stretch, and he now leads by 2. Melhorn, 24th in season earnings, is in prime position for his biggest check yet. Jones, Forrester, Havers, and Weathered all remain at -3, holding steady. Evans stays at -2 through 6. Clarence Hackney drops a shot at 7, slipping from -3 to -1. Arthur Havers holds at -3 through 4, carding a par since the last update. The Englishman, currently 25th on the money list with $262, remains in a 5-way tie for second behind Melhorn. It's a solid position midway through the front 9. Melhorn still leads at -5, while Jones, Forrester, and Weathered also hold steady. No changes in the -2 group, though Clarence Hackney continues to slide, now at -1 through 7. Bill Melhorn gives one back at the fourth, slipping to -4. Still the solo leader, but the gap narrows. That opens the door slightly for Bobby Jones and company, all still steady at -3. Melhorn remains composed, but the next few holes will be telling. No change for Havers, Forrester, or Weathered, each just one stroke back and biding their time. Evans, now through 7, stays at -2 and within range if the leaders stumble. Bobby Jones stumbles at the fourth, dropping from -3 to -1, a costly double that sends him sliding from solo second into a tie for 12th. It's his first real mistake of the tournament. And with Melhorn steady at -4 through 5, the gap has widened. Forrester, Havers, and Weathered are all now the closest chasers at -3. Evans, Hagen, and Cruikshank still sit 2 back as the field begins to stretch. Craig Wood makes a timely birdie at the 7th, jumping from -2 to -3 and into a tie for 3rd. It's his first move of the round and puts him alongside Cruikshank, Weathered, Havers, and Forrester, just one back of co-leaders Melhorn and Pat Doyle. Wood, 29th in earnings with $186, hasn't cracked the top 10 yet this season, but is now in striking distance. Conditions remain soft, but scoring has tightened as pressure builds. Conditions have warmed up at Detroit Golf Club, now 83 degrees with a stiff 14 miles per hour breeze out of the west. Greens remain very slow at 8.6 feet, but average firmness is creeping up, adding bounce to long irons. Heavy rough continues to punish misses, and the scoring average has climbed to plus 0.77. The course is playing tough, especially into the wind. Leaders will need precision and patience on approach, as the back nine could separate the contenders from the hopefuls. Arthur Havers makes par at the sixth, staying at -3 and tied for third. That's 4 straight pars to open his round. Steady, if not aggressive. Havers, 25th in current earnings, remains 1 back of Melhorn and Doyle. The wind has picked up, making approach shots tougher on this corner layout. Cruikshank and Wood also sit at -3, while Bobby Jones claws back to -2 after an earlier stumble. Scoring is tightening as conditions firm up. Roger Weathered picks up a birdie at the 7th, moving to -4 and joining Melhorn and Doyle in a 3-way tie for the lead. That's a timely move for the Englishman, who sits 23rd on the money list with $275 and is in contention for his first win on American soil. Forrester, Havers, and Cruikshank remain 1 back at -3, while Bobby Jones holds at -2 through 5. The wind continues to test club selection. Bill Melhorn drops another shot at the 6th, falling to -3 and slipping out of the lead for the first time today. That's 2 bogeys in his last 3 holes after a hot start. He now trails Roger Weathered, Pat Doyle, and Craig Wood, who all sit at -4. Melhorn, 24th in earnings, still has time to recover, but needs to steady the ship soon. Forrester and Havers remain even with him in the tie for 4th. Pat Doyle holds at -4 through the ninth, making par and keeping a share of the lead as he heads to the back nine. Doyle hasn't featured in the top 36 earners yet this season, but he's now in a prime spot to break through. Havers and Weathered also remain tied at the top, both steady through 7 and 8 respectively. Milhorn and Forrester trail by 1, part of a tightening group just off the pace. Arthur Havers makes par at the 8th to stay at -4, still tied for the lead with Weathered and Doyle. That's 5 straight pars for the 25th ranked earner this season, who's showing impressive patience as the wind continues to swirl. With scoring at plus 0.77 today, holding steady isn't a bad strategy. Melhorn, Cruikshank, and Wood are on one back at -3, and Bobby Jones is 2 off the pace with plenty of holes left to play. Bill Melhorn stays at -3 with a par at the 8th, keeping him 1 shot back of the leaders. After a sizzling start and a stumble mid-round, he's steadied himself nicely. Melhorn, 24th in earnings, is in a tight battle with Havers, Weathered, and Doyle, who all remain at -4. Just behind, Bobby Jones and Tommy Armour lurk at -2. With wind gusts still a factor, holding par might be enough to stay in the hunt. Arthur Havers makes par at the 9th to stay at -3, now 1 behind co-leaders Roger Weathered and Pat Doyle. That's 6 straight pars for the 25th ranked earner, who's quietly keeping pressure on the top without taking unnecessary risks. Mailhorn and Cruikshank are Arthur Havers drops a shot at the ninth, falling to -3 and out of the lead for the first time today. That bogey ends a run of steady play and puts him in a tie for third alongside Melhorn, Cruikshank, and Ernest Holderness. Havers, 25th on the money list, still has time to recover, but the margin is tightening. Weathered and Doyle remain out front at -4, with Jones, Armour, and Wood hovering just 2 back. Pat Doyle makes par at the 11th to stay tied for the lead at -4. With Weathered also steady through 10, this remains a two-man race, at least for now. Doyle's shown poise down the stretch, and while he's not on the earnings list yet, a win today would change that dramatically. Mailhorn and Havers sit 1 back, while Jones and Armour, both proven money winners, wait just 2 off the pace with prime scoring holes ahead. Arthur Havers bogeys the 10th, dropping to -2 and slipping into a tie for 5th. That's his second drop shot in the last 2 holes after a steady front 9. Now 2 shots off the lead, the Englishman will need to regroup quickly. Weathered and Doyle continue to set the pace at -4, while Cruikshank and Melhorn trail by 1. The back 9 at Detroit is proving tricky with winds still up and firming fairways. Roger Weathered drops a shot at the 11th, falling to -3 and out of the lead. He now sits tied with Milhorn and Cruikshank, 1 back of Pat Doyle, who holds steady at -4 through 11. Weathered had shared the top spot for several holes, but now finds himself needing to respond on the closing stretch. Havers, Wood, and Evans sit 2 off the pace. Wind is still a factor, and mistakes are beginning to multiply. Bobby Cruikshank birdies the 13th to move to -4, grabbing a share of the lead alongside Pat Doyle. That's a crucial move for the 5th-ranked earner on tour who's looking to secure his first win of the season. Cruikshank has quietly climbed all day, playing consistent golf as others falter. Milhorn and Weather now sit one back at -3, while Havers and Evans remain 2 off. Detroit's finishing stretch is shaping up to be a pressure cooker. Roger Weathered bogeys the 12th, slipping to -2 and falling from 1 shot off the lead to a tie for 4th. That's his second drop shot in 3 holes, and it's come at a tough moment with the leaders pressing ahead. Weathered, currently 23rd in earnings, still has a chance to rally but needs to stabilize quickly. Doyle and Cruikshank remain out front at -4, while Milhorn holds at -3, patiently lurking behind. Pat Doyle bogeys the 13th, dropping to -3 and into a tie for second with Bill Milhorn. Doyle had held or shared the lead for much of the day, but that's now 2 bogeys on the back 9, as nerves may be creeping in. Meanwhile, Bobby Cruikshank holds firm at -4 through 14, making him the solo leader. Jones, Havers, and Weathered remain 2 back with time, but pressure is mounting on every swing. Bobby Cruikshank remains at -4 through 14, holding the outright lead. That's now 3 straight pars under pressure. Solid work from the 5th-ranked earner, who's showing veteran control late. Melhorn, 1 back at -3, is through 11 and staying in touch. Doyle, after reaching the turn tied for the lead, has now fallen a full shot off the pace. Jones, Havers, and Weathered all sit at -1, but the holes and chances are starting to dwindle. Bill Melhorn records a double bogey at the 12th, tumbling from -3 to -1 and losing his place among the leaders. That's a costly setback after such a steady start, and with just 6 holes to play, the margin for error is gone. He now joins a logjam at -1 that includes Jones, Havers, and Armour. Cruikshank remains atop the board at -4, with Doyle and Weathered the only players still within a single stroke. Roger Weathered bounces back with a birdie at the 14th, moving up to -3 and into a tie for second alongside Pat Doyle, just 1 shot back of Cruikshank. After bogeying the 12th, that's a timely response for the 23rd-ranked earner. Weathered's known for his calm temperament, and it's serving him well down the stretch. Cruikshank still leads at -4, while Melhorn and Jones remain 2 back at -1 with 6 holes to play. Bobby Cruikshank bogeys the 15th, dropping from -4 to -3, and into a 3-way tie at the top with Roger Weathered and Pat Doyle. It's his first blemish in 8 holes, but it opens the door wide heading into the final stretch. Weathered and Doyle have both steadied after earlier slips. Meanwhile, Bill Melhorn and Bobby Jones sit 2 shots back at -1. With 3 to play, it's anyone's title to claim at Detroit. Roger Weathered pars the 15th to stay at -3 and keeps a share of the lead with Pat Doyle and Bobby Cruikshank. Weathered, 23rd in season earnings, has played smart and steady golf as others have slipped. No movement at the top, but pressure is mounting with just 3 holes left. Melhorn and Jones remain 2 back at -1, still within striking range, but time is running short for anyone to make a run.
Hang on.
Pat Doyle makes par at the 16th to remain tied at -3, still locked in a 3-way battle with Weathered and Cruikshank. That's 3 straight pars for Doyle after a rough patch earlier on the back 9. Now with just 2 holes left, he's positioned well, but so are the others. Cruikshank is 1 hole ahead, now on the 18th, while Weathered still has 3 to play. It's a tense finish at Detroit Golf Club with no clear favorite. Bobby Jones makes birdie at the 14th, moving to -2 and suddenly just 1 shot off the lead. That's his first red number since early in the round, and it couldn't come at a better time. Jones, currently outside the top 36 in season earnings, has a real chance to finish strong. He now trails Weathered, Doyle, and Cruikshank, all at -3, with 4 holes left to mount a final charge. This one is going down to the wire. Pat Doyle makes par at the 17th, remaining tied for the lead at -3 with 1 hole to play. Cruikshank is in the clubhouse at the same number, while Weathered still has 2 holes left to try and break the deadlock. Bobby Jones sits 1 back with 4 to go, and Mailhorn trails by 2. With scoring chances running low, it's shaping up to be a 3-man sprint to the finish at the Michigan Open. Bill Melhorn makes par at the 15th, holding at -1, but still 2 shots back with just 3 holes to play. After a hot start, a double bogey at 12 halted his momentum, and he's been unable to recover ground since. Cruikshank is in the house at -3, while Doyle and Weathered remain on course tied for the lead. Jones, just 1 back, still has a shot as the Michigan Open nears its final phase. Correction noted. Pat Doyle and Bobby Cruikshank are both still on the course, currently playing the 18th alongside Roger Weathered, who just made par at 17 to stay tied at -3. All 3 remain deadlocked at the top with 1 hole to play. Bobby Jones is 1 shot back at -2 through 15, still in striking range. Mealhorn and Evans sit at -1 but would need help. It's a true 3-man sprint down the final fairway at Detroit. Pat Doyle bogeys the 18th, dropping to -2 and out of the lead. It's a costly finish after holding or sharing the top spot for most of the back 9. Bobby Cruikshank posts the clubhouse lead at -3 after a steady back 9, and now only Roger Weathered on the 18th tee has a chance to overtake or join him. Bobby Jones, 1 back with 3 to play, remains the final wildcard in this dramatic Michigan Open finish. Bobby Jones stays at -2 through 16. No gain, no loss, but with just 2 holes to play, the window is closing. He remains one back of co-leaders Roger Weatherd and Bobby Cruikshank. Cruikshank is in the clubhouse while Weatherd is walking up the 18th with a chance to win outright. Doyle finishes at -2 and will have to wait. It's all up to Weatherd and Jones now, with the Michigan Open title hanging by a thread. Roger Weatherd bogeys the 18th, falling to -2 and missing a chance to join Bobby Cruikshank at the top. After holding a share of the lead late, Weatherd will finish one shot off unless Bobby Jones can change the story. Jones sits at -2 with 2 holes left. Detroit holds its breath as the Georgia amateur eyes the closing stretch. Cruikshank, 5th in current earnings, remains the clubhouse leader at -3. Final round recap, 1920 Michigan Open at Detroit GC. Bobby Cruikshank claims victory at -3 after a composed final round of 71, holding off late charges to secure his first win of the season. Already 5th in money earned coming into the week, this finish vaults him closer to the top tier. Roger Weatherd and Pat Doyle share 2nd at -2. Weatherd faltered at the 18th with a bogey, while Doyle's steady round couldn't overcome an earlier slip. Both finish one back. Chick Evans and Joe Kirkwood Sr. tied for 4th at -1. Evans, ranked 9th in season earnings, continued his strong campaign, while Kirkwood posted the lowest round of the day with a 70. Bobby Jones, just one back with 2 to play, closed with a pair of pars for 75, finishing tied for 6th at even par, still hunting for his first win of the year. A logjam at +1 included Vardon, Smith, Armour, and Hackney, as soft early conditions gave way to firm greens and swirling wind. Cruikshank's poise under pressure proved the difference, earning him a well-deserved Michigan Open title.